Hi, Michael.
Hi, Adam. Thank you so much for having me. You are too sweet. I am so honored to be on your channel and be finally having our little chat.
Yes, you know what? Ever since you got crowned, a lot of pageant fans, not just only here in the Philippines, but around the world, just couldn't get enough of you.
I'm so
Seriously, I feel.
honored.
Yeah, have you felt that kind of reception ever since you won? That a lot of pageant
Yes,
fans are so excited about you.
I know many people are supporting me and sharing their thoughts with me and telling me how much they believe in me. And it makes me feel so much more confident and ready to take on the journey. I believe that support is an important part of any journey that you're on. And I'm really happy to have the support of so many different people across the world.
Oh, that's nice to hear. You know what? I've been trying to look for your crowning video on YouTube, on Miss Universe Jamaica's official Facebook and even Instagram page, but I couldn't find anything. I can only see one photo where you just got crowned. But every time you watch that crowning video, how do you feel when you look back at it over and over again?
It's very surreal. This is something that I've dreamed about for a very long time. You see it in your head, you imagine how it would feel to have the crown be put on your head and to be crowned Miss Universe Jamaica. But to actually have that tangible experience to say that this is something that happened to me, it's amazing. You just don't get over it.
Yeah, did you expect to win? Because, given your credentials, given your background, did you
If I
re- did you
expected to
ex-
win, I was very confident in my ability to do well in the competition. I never expect to win because I felt like all the other girls in the Miss Universe Jamaica pageant this year were so worthy and capable. So I knew it was going to be a hard battle, and I'm just happy that I turned out to be the one who won. But all those girls were amazing.
what was going through your mind when you heard your name finally called as the winner for the first time?
Well, as I said, I was so confident for the entire pageant journey, and I knew I had it in me to take the crown home and to be the winner. But for some reason, when my name was called, I was so blown away. I wanted to cry. So I tears. It was so much. I can't even tell you. I was speechless.
Is it still sinking in for you?
Absolutely. Every day is a new experience. Now I'm a representative for my country and for so many people. So I experience new things every day and something new pops up every day. It's a learning experience and I'm just really enjoying it so far.
So how have you adjusted to your new role as Miss Universe Jamaica, as the newest ambassador of your country right now?
Well, I'm a woman who loves to take help. I'm not scared of asking for help or counsel or advice. And I have such a supportive team with the Miss Universe Jamaica organization. And it's just been a great journey so far because they've been very supportive and helpful with me.
You know, I can really feel the happiness and elation that you have been feeling since your crowning moment. So, is this something that you have ever dreamed of as a child, becoming a beauty queen?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When I was just 13 years old, I believe, in 2010, I saw Miss Universe Jamaica at the time, Yendi Phillips, represent our country at the Miss Universe pageant, and I was so inspired by her. And I think ever since that moment, I've been dreaming of doing this, and I'm so happy that I did, and I'm so happy that I'm here with the opportunity to inspire another little girl who might see me to do the same.
Isn't Yendi everything? I was also blown away by her killer performance during Miss Universe 2010. Like, look at, like, I feel like she's like, a doppelganger of Beyonce. That killer body, smile, hair. You know,
Isn't that
she's
bizarre?
incredible.
Yes, it's true. She
Yes.
was so confident on that stage. It just really, it lit something in me, like it struck a fire in me, and it's just been burning ever since.
Have you tried getting in touch with her for any advice for your forthcoming competition?
Well, I'm in touch with so many queens. past Miss Universe Jamaica queens that is, and they're all so supportive, and they're only a phone call away. So I'm really, really happy to be a part of this sisterhood, not just with Yendi, but with Casey and Diana.
Yes, yes. Oh my God, Jamaican way. I feel like Jamaica is, one of these years, Jamaica will really win a Miss Universe crown. And considering that, a Jamaican woman is the current title, is the current or the reigning Miss World this year, right? So, wow, there's something about Jamaican women that really draws a lot of people. And not just only a few people, but the whole universe, right?
I call it the Jamaican Spirit.
I wish, I hope to visit your island country in the near future. It's part of my bucket list. That all those countries in the
Please
Caribbean
do.
region.
Please
Yeah,
do. Just
yeah.
message me
Hopefully,
whenever you're ready to do a list of places that you have to go to, foods that you have to eat. Please do. You won't regret
all
it.
I all I know about Jamaica is Jamaican patties. That's what I eat here.
Well, not now because of the virus, but Jamaican parties, a lot of energy, a lot of vibes. It's an amazing atmosphere. Listen, you have to come.
Yeah, even the reggae, the music. Oh, that's music to everyone's ears. Yeah, right. So, let's now go to your background. I read in your bio that you were supposed to join Miss Universe Jamaica last 2017 but had to back out. That's something interesting that a lot of people don't know yet. So, what was the reason behind it?
Well, I had joined the Miss Universe Jamaica pageant, as you said, in 2017, and I was selected as a finalist and everything. But 3 months prior to that, my mother had passed away, and I simply felt like I wasn't mentally prepared, or I needed some more time to recover and cope with this. So I'm actually very happy that I decided to step back, because no, it still paid off. My hard work still paid off, because to be honest, have been spending the past 3 years or so preparing for a moment like this.
So, how do you think your mom must be reacting right now from heaven,
You
seeing
know,
what you
I
have
get
been accomplishing so far?
I get so emotional when I think about that, because my mother was a very, very supportive person in my life. And I know that she would be so, so proud of me to see the things that I'm doing now. So I can feel her spirit over me. I emulate her all the time, because she's one of my biggest idols, and she's someone that I've always looked up to, and I know I'm making her proud, and that makes it all the more worthwhile.
Is she one of your role models in life, or if not your
Absolutely.
main role model?
Absolutely. When I was growing up, my mother was the one person that I wanted to be. She was someone who I saw as so strong and so wise. And to this day, even after she has passed, I am emulating her and hoping that I can be the person that she wants me to be, and be very similar to her in terms of all her great qualities that I saw her for.
I wish that she could see you right now, and you will give her your, warmest hug or embrace to her for, for being by your side all this time. No, nothing,
You know,
nothing here like
I
a
am
mother's love.
used to it. I wish it times 1,000. That's, whew.
Right. It's interesting to note that you are also an international model before you won your pageant. Do you think your modeling background helped you win your competition?
Absolutely. Modeling on a runway in front of many important people does take a level of confidence. So that experience as a model has helped me to hone my confidence. But also as a model, I've traveled a lot, mostly by myself, or all the time by myself. And it has allowed me to experience different cultures and even experience myself more deeply. So consequently, I feel like I am more mentally mature and ready for a challenge like this one.
Have you had difficulty adjusting from modeling to the world of pageantry?
Not very much. I Pageantry is all about being yourself, and that's something I can do. I can do that. So I have jumped into this challenge head first, and it's been an amazing experience so far. Haven't had any challenges. And as I said, I'm always open to taking advice, and so many people have been giving me kind words and a lot of advice over my time and throughout my journey so far. So it's been an amazing experience.
So do you also say the same thing for your catwalk? As we all know, when you're a model, there's a different walk, catwalk, as opposed to a pageant walk, right? So you've never had difficulty adjusting, shifting.
Well, I wouldn't say that it was easy breezy sailing, but my team has been working with me to perfect the walk and to give it my all. So even though it's different, because I'm expressing myself and because I get this chance to really have fun and to be myself with my walk in terms of pageantry, I'm having fun and it's been an amazing experience. It's not bad.
How has international modeling changed your life so far before competing for Miss Jamaica beforehand?
Well, as I said, one of the biggest things that modeling has given me is a deeper understanding of myself, because traveling to so many countries on your own, it takes some guts to be by yourself and find ways to enjoy yourself and go out with yourself. I don't know who has ever gone to the cinema by themselves to watch a movie, me. But
Mm-hmm.
it was a great experience for me to get more in touch with myself and to have fun with myself and to really embrace my introvertedness. So yes,
Oh,
100%.
oh, yeah, to make you come out more of your shell, right? What has been your biggest accomplishment as an international model so far?
My biggest accomplishment as an international model, I would have to say, would be walking for the Valentino Couture show in, I should say, 2018 or 2019, in early 2019. Yeah, that was a very, very amazing experience for me. Valentino is a really huge fashion house, and I always wanted to walk for a big fashion house in Paris Fashion Week, and I got the opportunity, and it means a lot to me, and it's something that I'm still excited about. Sometimes I feel like, did I do that? It's it's amazing.
It feels like you're having so much fun and accomplishing so many things as an international model. Now, I want to ask you, why still compete in a pageant when you're doing so well, probably earning a lot of money as an international model?
I I had joined the pageant, the Miss Universe Jamaica pageant in 2017 before modeling was even a concept for me in terms of something that I actually could have been able to do internationally. And when I had stepped back because of the loss of my mother, I was very, very determined that I would do this again. And even though I was enjoying myself as a model, I knew that this was something that I eventually wanted to come back to. And in 2019, when I came back to Jamaica full time, kind of to finish my university degree, I decided that 2020 was going to be the year that I compete in Miss Universe Jamaica, and not even a pandemic was going to stop me. So here I am.
Oh, I admire your fighting spirit. I love how you have been keeping track of your goals. You really know what you want. So speaking of that, speaking of achieving your goals, was it really about Miss Universe platform, the Miss Universe Jamaica's platform, or the Miss Universe system, pageant system, that really attracts you the most?
The thing that attracts me the most about the Miss Universe platform is the fact that it believes in empowering women, and it gives so many young women like myself the opportunity to share the causes that are deep and dear to our hearts. And for me, that would be mental health awareness in children and teenagers.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's about, making an impact within your community. So you've talked about, so is this one of the goals that you hope you probably would like to achieve during your reign?
Yes, during my reign, I would like to achieve many things in terms of mental health and my advocacy. I'd like to create safe spaces for children where they can talk individually or as groups about the issues that are affecting them without feeling like they're going to be judged or stigmatized. And one of the ways that I'm thinking of doing this is by entering especially orphanages and state care homes where children are especially vulnerable, I feel like I can do a lot to help with my advocacy in areas like that.
Where is this passion or drive for helping children in terms of this topic coming from? Does this come from personal experience?
After the death of my mother in 2017, I was my eyes were opened to the totality of what grief is and how it affects people. And I know how much even a kind word can change your day and your mood when you're going through something like I went through. So I know how traumatizing it is for children who especially have been through maybe the loss of a parent or both parents or other experiences that they find to be traumatizing. And it's almost as if this called me as an advocacy because of my own experiences. It just really fit into what I'm passionate about.
So far, how have you been guiding all these children in terms of, protecting them from the harsh realities of life? Like, can you share any uplifting or positive feel good stories that you have been getting out of this helping in terms with in terms
I'm
of your
very big on
advocacy?
mentorship. I'm very big on mentorship. I know how much it means to people to have support of someone who has been where you are and who has gotten out of the situation that you're in terms of when you're feeling depressed about something or anxious about something, how much it helps when you have someone who has been exactly where you are to give you words of encouragement to know that this isn't going to last forever. And that's one of my biggest things that I say. I think nothing lasts forever, and you will get out of the situation that you are in. And through mentorship, I support children who have been in these situations or who are in any situation that they find traumatizing or anything that saddens them or makes them anxious. And that is what I'm doing. That's the biggest thing that I want to do, give myself to children who are experiencing things that trouble them.
You know, listening at you right now, as you talk about, as you articulate about your advocacy, which is helping children, go through this kind of stigma or situation, how do you feel that it kind of feels like a relevant topic or issue, especially given with what's happening with the world right now?
I consider mental health awareness in children and teenagers to be especially important in a pandemic situation. Children, especially, are social beings, and I know how anxious they must be feeling because they have to cope with the uncertainties of how life is right now. Because we don't know when the pandemic will end, they don't know when they're going back to school. It's very hard for them. I have a little brother, he's 6 years old, and I see how it affects him and how he is struggling to cope with the realities of what's going on for him now in terms of interacting with his peers and school wise. So I always do my best to make more time for him and support him. I mean, I have no interest really in building a Lego house, but I do it with him because I know that support is really what children need in a time like this to cope with what's going on.
Yeah. So how do you break down that support? How do you think we could cope with all this anxiety, all this anxiety trouble in our minds as we at everything that we are feeling at the moment, considering at the time that we are living in right now?
Well, I know for myself and for many other people, you find that we feel anxious because we're anxious about the future and we don't know what's going to happen in the future and how soon this is going to be over. And one of the things that I do is focus on the present and focus on myself now where I stand. And the way that you can do this is, for me, I do a very, very long, drawn out skincare routine. I cook and I
Mm-hmm.
bake for myself. I binge watch shows on Netflix and just take all the time that I need to cope with what's going on. Also, you can adapt new skills. So many of us have hidden talents that are hidden even from ourselves. And now, because most of us are staying home or stuck at home, it's a good time to pursue something that you've always wanted to try but never had the time to do. And that's a really, really good way to cope with what's going on because it makes you more viable. And you never know when you'll be able to use your skill and when your skill might become useful for you, economically, even.
So if we relate your answer if we relate that, so if you relate to your answer to what is happening right now, what skills have you tried for the first time that you haven't done before?
I can braid my own hair. I can do very, very neat, very nice box braids. It's so cute. I wish I could show you guys pictures. Listen, I'm an expert. I'm a hairstylist now.
See, this pandemic, this pandemic has its own silver linings. It makes us
I
do some things
know.
that we haven't even tried before or even considered that we could really do it as well, right?
And it's a
Like,
very rewarding feeling to complete something that you wanted to do. I even picked up baking, and the best part of baking to me is when you take the cake or whatever you baked out of the oven and you're like, I did that. I did that. It's very rewarding to learn a new skill.
yeah. Is your hairstyle right now also something that you also did by yourself? Because it really looks
Yes.
good on you. Usually, I see that kind of hairstyle among Asian women when they're being styled for photo shoots, like this some sort of
Really.
Japanese influence or Thai influence, but it really looks good on you.
Thank
Seriously,
you.
props on you
Thank you.
for,
That used to take 15 minutes to
if
get done if I'm going to be honest. But I'm very happy with how it turned out. I'm not mad at all.
if this is how you can style yourself within that short limit of time, then there's no doubt that you can also do the same thing when you competed Miss Universe. Because definitely you guys will be doing your own hair and makeup, especially at even those
That's what I'm working on.
crucial events like the preliminary competition. So yes, you're on the right track.
Thank you.
Yeah. So going back to our earlier topic, which is about your advocacy. So how can we encourage people, especially not only the young people, to take this issue very seriously? Not
I always say that mental health is as important as physical health. The truth is, if we're mentally overwhelmed, we'll find that we become less productive and our energy levels are low. So it's important for us to view them as equally important.
yes, not just because at the time that we are living in right now, that there's a pandemic, but we have to always keep reminding ourselves that as long as there are problems in lives, do you think depressions, anxiety attacks, mental illnesses will always come out or always be a relevant topic that needs to be discussed?
Right. Which is why it's so important to have that discussion, because all of us have minds and brains, and we all go through things that make us feel sad or anxious or upset. And it's important to know how to confront your emotions and know how to release your emotions and cope with the things that are going on around you.
Exactly. So speaking of that, you are from Jamaica. So I wonder what some other issues did you face when you were growing up, or issues that you face around you that you would also bring light about your community?
Well, Jamaica is a beautiful, beautiful country. And as amazing as it is, we still struggle with crime and violence in our country. And this is important to me as a topic because I lost my mother to violence. So it hits very close to home
Oh.
for me. And if I were to choose something to highlight in my community, it would definitely be crime and violence. I believe that one of the biggest risk factors for crime in Jamaica is an unequal access to education and jobs. And that's why so many people turn to other things to provide for themselves.
So if you were given a chance to speak with anyone from the government about this issue, would you be able to suggest something so that your government would be able to curb this perennial problem?
Well, one of the simplest solutions is to create more opportunities in terms of jobs in the country and also opportunities for education and for higher education like university. But also, as a mental health advocate, I know that creating spaces for children to interact, children and teenagers to interact, and for them to form groups of people of like minds is very important. And you find that it helps to curb crime because children who feel like they're a part of a group and feel like they belong somewhere are less likely to try to fit in into another group that may not have good ideas, such as gangs.
I love how you relate everything back to your advocacy. You believe so much about our children.
About the yes,
You believe so much in them that it feels like they're the hope of our future.
I believe that mental health boils into so many other things, and that's why it's important for us to focus on it and for us to give children the tools that they need to cope with the things that go on around them. Because if we focus on helping children while they're young, you'll find that when they become adults, they're much more equipped to handle the things that life throws at them in the future.
I also kind of think that the reason why you also are advocating for mental health among children and teenagers is because of your background in psychology. Because as we all know, you graduated with a degree in marketing and psychology. So how do you think does this help to get to where you are today, or to your goals that you have for your community, for yourself this year?
Psychology was just a minor for me to my major of marketing, but I am so passionate about it. It has taught me so much about why we behave the way we do, and it has helped me to understand the behavioral patterns of other people. The truth is that we are the totality of all our experiences. If we give people different and positive experiences to work with, we'll create different and positive people.
So what's your goal for this year then?
My goal for this year, as I kind of hinted, is to create safe spaces for children for them to be able to discuss the issues that affect them. This is one of the biggest things that I'm working on. I also do want to enter state care and orphanages to really help the children there who I believe are more vulnerable to cope with what's going on around them and to cope with the future in terms of what they'll be doing as adults and how that relates to what happened to them as children.
And I think you are doing well right now in terms of your preparation, in terms of how have you been presenting yourself, uh, everything in relation to your candidacy for the forthcoming Miss Universe. In fact, so many pageant fans are rooting for you right now. So was it about Jamaican women that draws people in Miss Universe?
Well, I as I said, I call it the Jamaican spirit. Jamaicans are resilient. We are jovial. We are lighthearted, and you can see it in the delegates at the Miss Universe competition that these are humble women who are ready and willing to rise to their challenges.
Yes, you have incredible seniors to look up to. Davina, Yendi, Casey, I can't pinpoint what's the secret or common denominator between among you all women, but must it be the resilience, the inner confidence, the inner, I don't know, aura? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you said earlier that they're just one phone call away, but have you tried to seek their advice from one of them? And if you did, what was the most meaningful advice that you are hoping or going to follow for this year's competition?
Well, all the queens have been supporting me. It's amazing, as I said, being a part of this sisterhood because I really feel welcomed, and I believe in the power of asking for help and asking for counsel. And these are women who have been in the position that I will be in terms of representing my country at the Miss Universe pageant. So I know that they have a lot of advice that they can offer me, even if they're just going to tell me about their experiences and give me a heads up on what they did and how it was for them. So that's my biggest takeaway from them. They've been all sharing their experiences, their unique experiences at the pageant, and I've been soaking it all in. And here I am.
How have you? So with what given with what you said, how are you preparing for this year's competition? Which area or aspect of the competition are you focusing on right now?
Well, I have a very rigorous training program. I wouldn't say I'm focusing on any particular area. Instead, I am trying to do as much as I can all at once. I I'm focusing on getting myself mentally and physically prepared for the pageant, and I'm just so excited to get on that stage and show everyone what I've been working on for all these months, and I hope to make everyone proud.
There's no doubt that the joy, excitement that I am feeling from where I'm sitting here in Manila will no doubt propel you to greater heights come Miss Universe. So,
Thank you.
how can you? Yeah, I can really feel your enthusiasm, your energy. That is, I don't know if that's what you call the Jamaican vibe, but I can really feel your hunger to win. Yeah, as early as now. So, what can you say to a lot of people or critics who say that pageants like Miss Universe are irrelevant right now, considering at the time that we are living in?
I believe that pageantry is a very, very powerful agent. It gives young women, delegates like myself, the opportunity to meet people of similar mindsets and to form sisterhoods. And it gives us the opportunity as well to talk about the things that we are passionate about. And not only that, but the people who are positively affected by our initiatives or by our causes are important in terms of the importance of pageantry. And then if we're supposed to consider even us, Adam, in this interview, there's so many people who love pageantry and watch it and have formed friendship and excitement and energy out of this community. Pageantry has become a community. Even in this pandemic, there are so many people who are excited and looking forward to the Miss Universe pageant whenever it will be held. And it shows the importance of pageantry. It's helped, I'm sure, so many people to cope with what's going on now, even during the pandemic.
Yeah, I think as you speak right now, it kind of resonates to me that maybe Miss Universe is really ahead of our time. Ever since IMG took over Miss Universe, they have been championing women who advocate for something or put something to the table for her community. And now that we are living at this very rough time, makes me think, wow,
It's
yes,
especially
the
important.
platform's
Right.
ability to help and raise awareness, right? And how you all candidates are taking advantage of it, right?
Right. It's especially important during the pandemic because so many delegates in the Miss Universe competition are have initiatives that help, especially during the pandemic. So I could never say that pageantry is not important or it is irrelevant, and so many people would agree with me.
So do you think this kind of beauty standard that the Miss Universe is espousing right now is something that we could see for the long haul, or is it something that will just pass by until the next beauty trend will come in?
I absolutely hope so. I hope that whoever owns the Miss Universe organization franchise in the future will keep this element of the competition of the pageant because I believe it's so important and impactful to so many people. And also, I think beauty standards are something they're fickle and they'll change as time goes on and as different centuries and eras come into play. But women or people who accept themselves for who they are and are confidently beautiful are the people that we remember, not for their physical attributes, but for who they are and how they affected other people.
Well said. Well said. That could be part of your final Q&A reply or in your opening statement, if ever. Yeah, so let's not. So we now go to the second part of our interview where I'll finally be asking you light and fun questions for a change. Yeah, we're done with the first part of the interview, so there's no doubt that you have been impressing me.
Thank you.
during this course of the interview. So I want to ask you something light and refreshing for a change to make you gauge you more with to get to know more of your personality, to make you smile more during this interview, because I feel like there's something sassy or engaging in you that I want to draw more about from you. So are you ready?
Ready.
All right. So here we go. At number one. Since you are an international model and you have walked for a lot of big names in the modeling industry, what other modeling gig will be a dream job for you?
My biggest goal as a model is to secure a makeup contract. That is when I know that I'd have achieved what I want to achieve as a model. But also, I would really, really love to walk the Victoria's Secret fashion show. So I'm fingers crossed for that. Those are the two things that I hold up here in terms of my goals for modeling.
Do you think Victoria's Secret will go back to its level of popularity as it was
A very
during
good
the
question.
previous decade?
That's a very good question. To be honest, I'm not sure because trends come in and come out. But I'm sure that there's going to be some other big fashion show that I want to walk for if Victoria's Secret does end up folding or not happening. And I know that I'm thinking about it. Another show that I would love, love, love to walk for is Rihanna's Savage Fenty. The body inclusivity, I think, is just so amazing at a time like this, and I'm all for it.
Maybe if you win Miss Universe, you could also organize your own kind of um, fashion campaign that involves charity and your meaningful advocacy. Yeah, yes, yeah. I love that. I love that.
Giving
Yeah.
me ideas. I should go get a pen.
So yeah, so we talk about Victoria's Secret, Rihanna. So my next question is, who was your idol growing up?
My idol growing up was my mommy. Yeah, she was my biggest influence growing up. I thought she was so strong and so wise and so perfect in my eyes. And to this day, I she's still the person that I want to be like. She's still my biggest idol over everyone else. I believe that she is the person who most positively impacted my life to this day.
She has impacted your life so much. Yeah, from the way you talk about your advocacy, and then as an international model until you foray into pageantry. There's no doubt that her influence inspires you up until now. Oh, I always get emotional when we talk about moms.
Right.
Family. Yeah, family is really everything important. Yeah. So, next question. Since you said you have been traveling as an international model, what is your favorite place that you have traveled so far?
I would have to say London. And it might be a little biased because out of all the European places that I've been, London has been the only place that speaks English or everyone speaks English. But to be honest, I absolutely love Paris. I did French all throughout high school, so I speak a tiny little bit of French and I understand some of the conversation. So it was a really amazing challenge for me to be in Paris. I was in Paris for about 3 months and it was a really amazing experience because I did learn a lot about Parisian culture and I learned a few French terms. Not enough to get me by, but I'm working on it. I'm very excited to go again and to really immerse myself in the culture another time.
I can agree with you. I went to those two countries before the pandemic, and wow,
Mm-hmm.
even if I only stayed there for a week, for a few days apart, I can
You
really
didn't want to
feel the
leave?
culture. I really did not want to leave, especially London. They're so courteous. They're so courteous. When you ask for directions in
That's
the
so
streets, they will
understanding.
even offer to walk you all the way to your destination if they're not doing anything. So yeah, same with Paris.
True.
Even if I don't understand English, the culture is also different. Oh, okay. Oh, I wish we could already travel at this time. But anyway,
I
so
know.
my next question is complete the statement. Jamaican women are good at blank.
at everything. Okay, but seriously, Jamaican women are good at anything they put their minds to. I believe that we are hardworking people and we know what we want and we go for it. So Jamaican women are good at everything that we want to be good at.
True. Just by looking at your example, I will agree 100%. Next question. What is one item you can't live without?
Absolutely, my cell phone. Especially in a time like this with the pandemic. My cell phone is it's my go-to thing because I have to be physically distant from my friends and some of my family so I can be socially close with them through my cell phone. What would you say?
Yes. Cell phone as well. Cell phone as well. You know, first thing I do every time I wake up is to check up my phone. Instead of praying, I immediately go to
Right?
my phone for updates. Yeah, when it's supposed to be the other way around. Oh, yeah, we can't leave our
No,
smartphones.
literally, that's the one thing
Uh,
that has to
ever
be.
since I agree. So next question: are you a mommy's girl or a daddy's girl?
I would say that I'm both. I was the child who, like, if mommy says no, I just ask daddy and then be like, yeah, but daddy said it was okay. So I
Okay, so we now go to the harder questions. Okay, a few more questions before we end this interview. Uh, I've been enjoying my time with you. I feel like I can talk to you for days, hours. Yeah, so my next question is, if you were a judge and not a candidate competing in Miss Universe, how would you pick your winner?
if I were a judge, I would pick the woman who most embodies the Miss Universe organization mantra, which is confidently beautiful. I would want a woman who is not only physically beautiful, but someone who is warm and inviting and passionate about helping people.
So how can you check? How can you because assuming all of you 80 women are like that, so how can you detect that one girl who will stand out among the pack?
As a person, I find that I am very intuitive in terms of things like that. But also, you will know the women who want it more than the other women, I think. And it's a competition. I mean, I'm sure it's hard work, and it's all about who can work the hardest and who can maintain a level of consistency throughout the pageant run.
True, true. I agree with what you said, and I think you have those qualities. I'm telling you right now, someone who would just walk by, suddenly enter a room, and already command attention among all those people inside the room. Yeah, even without speaking a word, even by just going inside with your beauty. Yeah, that's how a Miss Universe for me. First and foremost, should be all about to command attention. Yeah, I think you have that quality. Like even if we're just talking virtually, but I can feel your radiance, your fire, your aura as we are
Thank
facing
you.
are we as we face into each other right now. Yeah. Okay.
I'm so
Let's.
honored
I
that
want to
you
ask.
say that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you're gonna do well. I think you're going to do well in the forthcoming competition. I just can feel it. I just feel it. To be honest, your beauty, your charisma, your eloquence. Oh, I think you are IMG bait. Yes. So let's now ask. Okay, enough of pleasantries. Enough. So I'll try to ask you one Alumnus Universe top 5 hard question.
Okay.
Are you ready? Something to do with your country. One of the biggest challenges in Jamaica, in your country, is social and economic inequality. And we talked about this earlier. So, how do you think you can bridge the gap between the rich and the poor?
So I believe that social and economic inequality are two of the biggest risk factors for crime in Jamaica. And simply one of the ways that the government can do this is by creating more jobs and more opportunities in terms of education for people in the country. But as I said, for me, as someone who is an advocate for mental health, I know that if we create groups where young people can be together and interact with people of like minds, people who are positive influences on them and have access to mentors and role models, that they'll be less likely to turn to a life of crime. And thus, we would be working on bridging the gap between the rich and the poor.
Love it,
I don't
love
know
it,
why
love it. I'm sorry. You don't know why? Sorry.
I'm mad. I think it broke up. Did it break up in the middle of my question again?
No, no, no. You're doing okay. Otherwise, I would have asked you to repeat what you just said, but everything is wonderful. Everything is wonderful. Yeah, I love how you relate your advocacy to that question. As you became more specific, as you try to become more specific, like what you could really do with your community. I think if a judge would be hearing your answer, that would be one. That would be something that they would really look for. Is that something, that tangible solution that you could do within your power, within your reach, within your limited capacity to uplift the lives of the people around your community. So yeah.
I agree. I think with issues as big as this, sometimes we feel like as individuals, we can't do much to help change the situation that we're in. But it's not true, because doing something as small as just providing mentorship to a young man who is struggling with school or struggling with his education or his family background would do a lot in terms of curbing youth and children from crime. Change the future of any country or the world. If we give children the opportunities, then we will find that we have adults with opportunities, and adults who are more keen on providing opportunities, the same opportunities that they would have gotten as children, to other young children, and create a positive cycle that would be a catalyst for change.
True, true. So speaking of change, last two questions. Oh my God, we're ending. I want to ask you about the pandemic, about the time that we are living in right now. As we all know, this is super relevant to you. The pandemic has created a lot of anxiety and has taken a significant toll in people's mental health, no doubt. How will you tell a person suffering from this problem seek out help, knowing that the stigma associated with this is very scary or very hard to deal with?
I believe that the way to tackle any stigma is by raising awareness. So, raising awareness in mental health and having that conversation about mental health would be an important first step in decreasing the stigma. And to that person who would be afraid to seek the help that they need because of the stigma attached to it, I would say to be courageous. And one of the ways that you can find courage is by seeking support from your friends and your family to get the help that you would need.
True, true, true. Be open for support, communicate is the solution. Learn how to communicate. Don't try to bottle all your emotions here inside. Learn to speak, learn to open up. Yeah.
And
Sometimes
all of us have individual ways of coping or of working on our mental health. Some people might find that they love to journal, like myself, and some people might find that they hate to write. So they're rather making voice notes, or they're rather painting or drawing or watching TV. And all of these methods of working on your mental health or giving yourself time, they're all valid. And we should all respect the things that we do to cope with the uncertainties of life, especially in the pandemic. And one by one, we'll realize that we are breaking the stigma surrounding mental.
true, true. I agree. So last question. I don't know if you want to answer this, but if you want to answer this, I'll be so happy. But if not, I'll be okay with it as
I
well.
will never tell you no.
Why should you be the next Miss Universe?
I should be the next Miss Universe because I'm a woman who leads with empathy and with courage. And I know that the platform of Miss Universe is a platform that comes with great responsibility. I wouldn't be representing just myself or even my country. I'd be representing millions and millions of people. And this is a concept that doesn't daunt me, actually. It makes me eager. If I were to become the next Miss Universe, I would share my mantra about the importance of compassion with as many people as I possibly can.
I feel like you're already giving your final answer, envisioning you on that Miss Universe stage. Wow, bravo, yeah.
Thank
You
you.
you're not only good in English in communicating your thoughts, but you also speak from the heart. You speak with charisma. You speak with um, relatability. I can easily identify with you. Your audience, your fans can easily root for you because of that quality. So well done.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank you.
And on that note, that ends our interview. Miss Michael, no doubt I had a wonderful time getting to know you for the past hour. And for sure, a lot of your fans and supporters will agree with me that you are no doubt one of the girls to watch out for in the upcoming Miss Universe pageant. So, as my last question, can you give your shout out to all your friends and to all your followers, fans who have been cheering for you to win or to become the next Miss Universe?
Every time I'm asked to give a shout out to the people who support me, the first thing I think about is telling them thank you, thank you, thank you so much for your support. It doesn't go unnoticed, and I believe doing something like this that is so great and important to me to represent my country on a stage like the Miss Universe stage, it is important for me to have the support, and I'm so grateful to have it from each and every single one of you. So thank you for every kind message, every comment, every word that you say to me. I really, really appreciate it. And you all don't know how much it brightens my day.
Uh, no doubt, no doubt. They will really take all your message right now to heart. They really love you so much. They really want to do you. They really want you to do well in this
Thank
upcoming
you.
competition with the level of um with the level of preparation, effort that you have been putting into your advocacy, campaign, and everything that has something to do with your candidacy. Everything is being noticed, and we can only hope and pray that you will be able to achieve your goal this year. So,
Thank you
thank you,
so
Miss Michael. Thank you to Sir Mark and Carl for making this possible, for making this interview possible. I cannot express my deepest regards and um and happiness for allowing me to interview you, for making this interview possible, Miss Michael. No doubt you're
thank
really
you
one
so much,
hell of a
Al.
contender that we should watch out for in the upcoming Miss Universe. So last request, can you do a country introduction for all of us pageant fans, because I really want to post this on my social media.
Okay,
Yay.
as usual, I have my hands on my hips. Are you ready?
Yes.
Miqueal Symone Williams, Jamaica.
Woo!
Almost
Sorry,
like everybody in my house.
anything that will make us come alive, even if Miss Universe doesn't announce yet. So that's why we live by all these country introductions that we that we have been requesting from you if ever we get a chance to interview you, girls. So thank you, Miss Michael. Thank you so much. You don't know how much you made me feel so blessed to have this interview done. No doubt that we should really keep an eye for you in the upcoming pageant. So God bless you, Miss
Thank you.
Michael,
Thank
and I hope we
you.
could do another interview again.
Of course, absolutely. And you have to
Yeah.
come to Jamaica, Adam. I mean it.
Yes, yes.
So
If
whenever
money
the
was,
pandemic is over, you just let me know, and I will give you the list of places, the list of foods. Anyone who wants it, I'll just make a curated list. Yes.
yes, you could even be a local tour guide. Yeah, Why not, right? Imagine.
There's an idea.
Yeah. So on that note, thank you so much, Miss Michael. So God bless you. Stay safe and hydrated, and virtual hugs and kisses from here all the way from all the way from Manila. Send my
Thank
warmest
you.
regards to
Thank
both
you.
Carl, Sister Carl, and Mar. Thank you so much.
I absolutely will. Thank you, Adam, for interviewing me, and thank you to everyone who has been watching for this entire interview. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
All right. God bless you. Mwah. Take care.